So, is your life really on hold until you pass the bar exam? I hear you. I see you, dear friend. You are taking this bar exam repeatedly, time after time, trying to figure out what went wrong the last time so that you can fix it and try again this time, all the while unsure, not knowing whether this time will do the trick. Maybe even wondering as you sit down to try and pass this time, am I even enough? Have I got what it takes? Did I do everything that I could? And not knowing the answer to that question is stumping you and blocking you up right then and there, even while you tried to take the exam. I'm here to tell you that one, no, your life does not have to stop and be on a perpetual hold because you're taking the bar exam. And two, you've got to answer that deep nagging question of, do I have what it takes? Am I enough? Am I good enough? Will I be good at what I do? Will I serve my people, or will I let them down? You have to answer that question so that you can move forward, because until you do, a little part of you will hold you back from doing everything that must be done in order to pass this bar exam. So I've given you two branches of the tree to look at when it comes to addressing how come I'm taking this bar exam over and over and over again. What gives? What can I do? Some of these questions you must go into the deep recesses of your mind in order to resolve and finally let them go so that you can move forward. And then others of these are easier than others to resolve, except if you've been conditioned to believe that you must stop everything in order to study for the bar exam and pass, and that your life can't move on without it. You may actually be working against yourself. If you don't figure out what to do to stop the thoughts and the behaviors that stem from those thoughts, you'll keep going around this circle over and over and over again until you figure it out, answer that question, lay it to rest, and finally release that lesson. So think about those two things, right? Do you have to have your life on hold? And are you being nagged by the question, the doubt, the fear that you're not really enough? And let me tell you something, dear sweet friend. Getting down to the bottom of those things, figuring out why that's there, and answering those questions, and actioning the resulting solutions that come up after you've answered those questions, those are key. Now here's where people normally get blocked up. One, how to ask the right questions to get down to the bottom of what is really going on here. Two, how to work through the emotional reason why they've been blocked up with that question, and the emotional reason why they're reluctant to enact the solution. And then three, having the support, accountability, the check-in, the encouragement, the troubleshooting for actioning the solution. Because as we all know, you can be told what the solution is, actually implementing it and doing it and sticking to it until you see the results. Totally different story. And so people either fall short on stage one, how to ask and get down to the bottom of what's really going on. Stage two, working through the emotions so that you can cut away that anchor that's been holding you down. Cut it off. Those emotions are the anchor. You work through that and finally you're free to burst up to the surface, right? So two is working through the emotions, or three, methodically, consistently implementing the solution that results from steps 1 and 2. In either of those three stages, you may get blocked up. So this is where I offer you some help. When you know that you've done all things academic, all things strategic, all things even technical, and even if you haven't done all things, you have an idea, an inkling, a suspicion that even if you did know all the good things to do, you probably couldn't or wouldn't follow through because there's something else going on, get on a confidence kickstart call. This is where you get a mindset expert helping you to swim through the steps that I have just outlined here, helping you to get down to the bottom of what's happening and why. So at the very least, you get clarity, answers to the questions, and you get direction on what you need to do, and then you can find the way to implement the solution. So I'm posting the link below because I want you to know that there is someone out there who is addressing the mindset of the bar exam, and that you can get that help. And in fact, part of you already knows that I can do all these things academically, but there's something else going on here. We might have psychological terms for it. We might call it anxiety. We might call it lack of self-confidence. We might call it all kinds of other things, because those are the labels that we know. But when you get with a mindset mentor and start learning actually what's happening inside there, you will be clear on why this has all been happening and now have direction on what to do about it. I invite you to come and speak with me. Let me help you get that clarity and direction. That's what I have for you today.